What do you need to know if you're thinking of getting started on YouTube? If you want to be a creator, if you want to be a business owner, if you want to get started on YouTube and join the masses and masses of people that are creators nowadays, or YouTubers or influencers or whatever you call them. What do you need to know if you want to jump into that world? And that's something that you want to do. Well, in this video, that is what I'm going to answer. So I joined YouTube over 2 years ago. In that time, I've uploaded over 100 videos. My channel has got nearly 200,000 views, and it's been a long road, even though it's only been a couple of years, but it's still been a long road to get to 1,000 subscribers. And what does it even mean when you get to 1,000 subscribers and beyond, and you get past that? Well, so in this video, we're going to answer all of those questions. Coming up in this video, first of all, I'm going to share who the hell am I and why you should listen to me and why I've got experience to tell you everything I know about YouTube. Then I'm going to share with you how and when I got started and why I got started on YouTube in the first place. My best and worst experiences in the last 2 years and everything that I've been through and sort of all the highs and all the lows of being a YouTuber. What I've learned after 2 years, over 100 videos, 200,000 views, and over 1,000 YouTube subscribers. What have I learned? And I'm also going to share with you, if you're thinking about getting started, or maybe you're just interested and you already have a channel, and then I'm going to share with you my essential programs and my essential gear that I use as well. Some of them are free, most of them are cheap, because I don't have a ton of capital to invest into YouTube right now anyway, so I try and do things as efficiently and financially viable as possible. So hopefully some of this you'll find useful. Then we're going to talk about getting started as a YouTuber, and all of you people that are thinking about getting started and you're wondering whether it's the right thing to do or not, we're going to talk about the YouTube roller coaster that I've been through. So that is roughly what we're going to cover in this video. So first of all, let me start by saying, who am I? Why should you watch me? I'm John. Hello. So I've been on YouTube for about 2 years. I started my first ever channel, my gaming channel, which was the Game Hawk. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. I mainly play Call of Duty DMZ mode on there with my friends. It's more just for fun. It's something I do for fun. I just chill out gaming and playing with people. And the reason why I got into YouTube in the first place was actually in the gaming niche. So basically I got started, I'm pretty sure it was March 2022. Someone confirm on my channel, let me know, but I'm pretty sure March 2022. And I got started because I loved playing Call of Duty. I'm a bit of a gamer at heart. I'm a massive tech nerd at heart. And I wanted to just carry on playing my games and stuff. But then I noticed there was a lot of streamers. And there was 2 streamers in particular that I followed. One was called Fixate, who is still a massive DMZ streamer today. And I watched him regularly, and he kind of just played DMZ on his own, doing solo runs, and he just really enjoyed it and really had fun with it. And occasionally he teamed up with other streamers, but most of the time he just played DMZ by himself. And then there was another streamer who's no longer on YouTube, and he was called Glitchy. And again, he was another solo streamer. Both of them were American. And I just thought, these people are just streaming Call of Duty by themselves, just having fun with it. I could do that as well. So I then just started looking into it. So I started researching. I started researching all the things you would need to stream, all the equipment you would need. I thought, okay, I can do this. This isn't too bad. So then I just started streaming DMZ with my friends, really. And that's how I got started. And Jerry, who's live in the chat right now, me and him just become quite close over playing DMZ and just started streaming that. And that's how it kind of started for me. Just streaming DMZ with my friends and having fun every night. And I just loved it. And it was really good until Call of Duty decided to tank the game and not do any more updates on it. But that's a whole different story. But that's how I got started. What else don't you know about me? Well, so I'm married. I've got 2 kids. I live in England. I have a full-time job as well. So I just wanted to get started as a creator. I always knew I didn't want to do my full-time job forever. I enjoyed it when I was younger. When I was young and single, it was great fun. And it was really good, and I had good career aspirations. But now that I'm married and got kids, I want to spend more time with them. I want to spend more time with my family. And having a business enables you to do that. So especially off the back of COVID, during 2020 and late 2019, when everyone went into lockdown and people started working from home a lot, there was a lot of emphasis on people working from home, and then a lot of entrepreneurs were born out of sort of COVID. So that's kind of where it come from for me. I knew I wanted to I've always loved YouTube, always been obsessed with it, and I've always loved gaming. So that's how I got into it in the first place. That was where my sort of YouTube journey was born back in, I think it was March 2022 on DMZ. And then like I said, me and Jerry just teamed up and just started playing Call of Duty together, and it was just great fun. And then I think 6 months later, I started this channel, the one you're watching this video on right now. And that was born out of my tech reviews, because I've always loved tech. I've always been obsessed with tech and filmmaking. So I do filmmaking as well on the side. That's a little side business I have. And that's something that I've always had a bit of a passion in. And just tech, I love cameras. I love microphones. I love just monitors and gaming gear and all that sort of thing. I love tech specs. So if I'm going to buy something, I'll spend hours and hours and hours reviewing it. So I go into proper hyper focus mode. So I wanted to just thought, well, I could just share that knowledge with other people, because I enjoy making videos. I don't have a lack of camera confidence. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So that is me, and that is how and when I got started. Like I said, it was in March 2022 on my gaming channel, and then I think it was August 2022 on this channel when I started. Then I just kept the two separate. One was just for gaming and live streams of DMZ and DMZ videos and general gaming videos of things I enjoyed. And one was tech reviews, filmmaking and all that sort of stuff. Now I've sort of gone into the world of YouTube education as well. So this channel now covers tech reviews, filmmaking, YouTube education, with a little bit of sort of productivity sprinkled in, because as you can see by all my productivity shelf here, I love trying to think of ways to always keep on top of your game and keep your best. So now that you know me, now that you know John, the husband, the father, the person who works a full-time job, the filmmaker, the YouTuber, the business owner, trying to juggle absolutely everything, it's bloody hard work. I'm telling you, it is not easy, but I do enjoy it. I always thrive under pressure, or I try to at least. So now let's talk about my best and worst experiences with YouTube. So best and worst experiences. So this is kind of split over both my channels. So my best experiences, I can give you two of them, for example. One was like the gaming channel was just generally when I got to play with people like Jerry, The Witch, Malahir, the people I play with regularly and have really good vibes with and have really good fun with, and just we have an absolute laugh. And my wife has to come downstairs at sort of 10 or 11 p.m. at night when she's just got the kids to sleep and she's trying to get an early night. She comes down and shouts at me and tells me off because I'm laughing my ass off and having too much fun with my friends. Those times I just love. When you get raided by people like Fixate and Onic, which happened to me a couple of times, and all of a sudden you go from having 100 people or 50 people watching, sorry, to about 500 people watching. And then all of a sudden you jump up by about 100 subscribers, and it's just in one live stream, and it's just great fun. That's that sort of thing. I really just enjoyed the vibe of it. And that's something I would tell anyone that wants to start a YouTube channel, is just have fun with it. If it's something you enjoy, YouTube shouldn't be a job to begin with. It should be something you enjoy as a side hustle, because it's going to be difficult enough when you get started. You should just enjoy it and just have fun with it. Another thing that's good is I made a video on my Game Hawk channel that I think now has about 80,000 views, which is a complete outlier for that channel. And that was amazing. Another time that was really amazing, one of my best experiences, was when me and my wife went recently to Barcelona. And I'm glued to my mobile phone and my YouTube Studio mobile app. I'm usually glued to that, the analytics, the subscriber count, the comments, all that sort of thing. But when we went away to Barcelona, I decided I was not going to view my channel at all. And then when I didn't view it, I went away and I had something like 700 and something subscribers. And she said to me, what's the goal when you get back? Because I launched 2 videos. I was scheduled one for the day we was leaving, and one to be released 3 days later while we were out there. And she said, what's the goal when we come back? And I said, I'd like to have at least 800, ideally, subscribers. But I know that's aiming a bit higher, because at the time I was averaging like 10 or 20 new subscribers a week. So to want to get about 70 or 80 in one go was a lot. And she looked at me and just smiled, because she checked it and obviously I didn't. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Not going to check. Don't want to know. When I did check, I had my video get about 7,500 views, and I got about 150 new subscribers just over 2 days from that one video. So that was obviously an incredible result, and that pushed me so much closer to the 1,000 mark, which is where I'm at now, obviously. So that was just amazing, and I just loved it. It was such a good buzz and such a good high. The worst experiences are, it's just about videos not really performing that well. So videos on this channel, for example, they require a lot more filming, a lot more scripting, research and editing. And there's been videos that I've spent probably about 4 hours researching and scripting. And I've done some videos where I've scripted them completely, some where I've just done bullet points, and I've done it more casually and off the cuff. The problem with those eyes, they take longer to edit because you have more outtakes. So I've kind of leaned towards a bit more scripting, really, but I'm playing around with both and seeing what works better. So there, you just make I just spent ages making a video, like researching it, scripting it, filming it, then about 10 hours editing it to upload it, and it gets 30 views. And you just get so disheartened by that. You try changing the thumbnail, you try changing the title, and you try editing it in the YouTube studio editor, and nothing works. It just doesn't perform. And then you just have to put your tail between your legs and go, okay, no problem. That one's tanked. What can I do? Just wasted hours of my life. Like, I'm not going to get back. That is unfortunately the way YouTube goes. I've had loads of people in the comments, exactly like a comment that's just come in the live. I've had loads of comments say that your videos are really good and your editing's really good and your production value is really good and your knowledge is really good and you should be getting more views. But unfortunately, the algorithm just doesn't work like that. And I'm humble enough to know that there's bigger and better people than me out there that are going to perform better. And eventually I'll get there, and I'm growing at a steady rate. It's just going to take time. YouTube is a long game. It's not something you can win overnight. So those are my best and worst experiences. Next, what have I learned after 1,000 subscribers? So what have I learned? Well, I've learned that YouTube is a long game. Quite simply, as I just said, is not a quick cash grab. It's not something where you can look at the big streamers like Onic and Fix8 and Dr. Disrespect, or look at the big tech reviewers like Marquez Brownlee and Mr. Who's the Boss and people like that who get contacted by brands saying, we want to come to your, can you come to our event? We'll fly you first business class over to our event in New York, and we can come to this nice reception and review our product, and we'll put you up in a hotel for a week, and we'll also pay you $5,000 for the privilege, and then you can make a video about it. Or you can make a video and it gets like 1 million views. It doesn't happen like that. Like the big streamers like Fix8 and Onic and Dr. Disrespect, who get 2,000 people watching them live and they make like $1,000 a day. It doesn't work like that for new creators. You literally have to start from zero and build up your reputation from the ground up. So for example, a lot of YouTubers that you'll see online will talk about, oh, you can get started with YouTube. You can do it part-time. You can do it while you're juggling your full-time job, and it's easy. The problem is you can't do it when you've got kids. Well, you can, but it's very hard, because if you're young, so this is what I'd say to young people. If you're sort of 20 years old and you're in university or wherever and you're thinking about becoming a YouTube creator, do it now. Just do it. Because I've decided to do it too late. I wish I'd have done it when I hit 30, because that was a few years before I had my kids. And it was just, I would have had the time. So many days when I got home from work and all I did was sit and chill out in front of Netflix or Disney or whatever, or just play games offline and just zone out for ages with my friends. And don't be wrong, you need that time. You do need that time for yourself, but there's no better time to be a creator than when you've got the time, because trying to do it with young kids and a wife, you're trying to be a good husband, you're trying to be a father, you've also got to try and work, and you're trying to build a YouTube channel, do filming, editing, graphic design, all that stuff. It's so hard. I barely have any downtime now. I basically do all of stuff like this when my kids are in bed, or like I get home from work and like all the kids are in daycare and things like that. It's so difficult to try and balance everything. Or weekends. We don't have any plans at the weekends. Rather than making plans to go and do stuff, I just end up squirreling away and grinding away to do YouTube. It's very difficult. Let's use the two different niches that I'm in, right? Tech and gaming. So gaming, don't look at people like Fix8 and Onic who are getting 2,000 people watch them live and making $1,000 a day and think I could do that. Don't look at tech reviewers and think I could make one video, get 1 million views and get flown halfway around the world by Sony and get paid $10,000 and make 6 figures a year. You can't, it's not that easy. It can be done. Yes, it can. They've obviously done it. They started with nothing and built all the way up, but it's not easy. That's the biggest thing I'll give you, is that it's hard. It can be done, but it is hard. Right now that I've killed your ego a little bit. I don't mean to do that, by the way. YouTube is amazing and I bloody love it. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Absolutely obsessed with YouTube. I'm obsessed with having a business. I'm obsessed with growing it. I'm obsessed with helping people that are 2 years behind me, that have not started their channel yet, that just really want to do it, that just want to get started building up their channels and getting videos that go viral and all that stuff. And I'm obsessed with helping those people. 2 years behind where I was, but you have to understand it's not easy, and you have to do something you enjoy. Right. Next, let's talk about, so if you do want to get started on YouTube, let's talk about the essential programs and gear I use. Start with programs first. I've got my little notes here to let me know what programs I use, because I've got the memory of a goldfish. So for starters, OBS. I use OBS to film a lot of my talking head videos. The reason for that is because if you're filming on your camera, like a Sony camera like I'm here, the issue is you have to film on the camera, then transfer it to the computer, and that takes like 20 minutes. Whereas you could just film it straight to the computer from OBS and record it, and you get the same quality, and it's straight on the computer. You haven't got to worry about it transferring. So that's why I do everything on OBS. OBS is completely free. It stands for Open Broadcast Software. You just go to, I think it's obsproject.com, and you can just download it, get started. I don't have an affiliate link for them. It's just such a good program for live streaming. I use it for live streaming in all of my gaming videos. I know Jerry used OBS for live streaming. I know a lot of big creators use OBS for live streaming. It is one of the best programs for live streaming and for making videos. I use that for these graphics. All I do is create my graphics. I'm going to talk about the program I used to create them in a minute. And then you just upload them to OBS, and you can just toggle them on or off, and you can have graphics like this while you're there. Yeah, graphics like that. And you can just have all your graphics come up, and you can toggle them on or off. OBS is brilliant for streaming. You can also use it to record, to do so much. It's a really, really good program. So I'd highly recommend you get OBS. Next, I use Canva for thumbnails and graphics. That's where I do all of my graphics and make all of my thumbnails. Photoshop you can use, and I also have Photoshop, and I do use it for other things. I occasionally use it for making thumbnails, but most of the time I use Canva because, one, it's cheaper. Secondly, it has a much lower learning curve. So you can figure it out. If you're not tech savvy at all, you can easily figure Canva out. Photoshop, you actually need to invest a lot of time and effort into watching sort of YouTube videos and tutorials on how to use it, because it is quite a difficult program to use. I think so anyway. Maybe I'm just stupid, but Canva's quite easy to use. And I use that for all of my graphics, all of my thumbnails, and it's very, very simple. The Pro plan is relatively reasonably priced, I think. Next, I use VidiQ. Now you have options here like VidiQ or TubeBuddy. VidiQ and TubeBuddy are both for research, ideas, and your analytics for your channel, and sort of AI-based help and optimization for your YouTube channel. I recommend everyone would get VidiQ. I do have an affiliate link for that. So if you use my affiliate link, that goes towards supporting the channel. You don't pay any extra at all, obviously. It just goes towards supporting the channel. But VidiQ I use every day pretty much and it helps you with your research online. It helps you with learning how to use other channels to get video ideas. It helps you with all your analytics and that sort of thing, finding outliers, just all of your research. Really, really good. Then next, I use a program called Notion, which costs $9.99 a month here in the UK. I'm not sure what it is in dollars. I think it's like $12 a month or something. And that is basically where my base of operations is. That is where all of my workflow is, my research, my ideas, my calendar for the day, my daily habit tracking, pretty much everything to do with my business and my YouTube, I use Notion for. And I use a program called Creator HQ, which is by a guy called Jay Klaus. It's basically a Notion template by a guy called Jay Klaus from Creator Science. And it is made for YouTubers. Now, you could set this up yourself and just make it all up yourself. However, it is going to take you hours to learn how to use Notion. It is quite a tricky platform to use. Again, might just be me, I might just be stupid, but I find it quite difficult to use. Whereas if you just use the Creator HQ template and then you can just customize it how you want, it's so easy and it takes you 5 minutes. And one thing I'll come on to later is you should always invest in buying time back, because one of your most valuable assets in life is time. And whenever you buy something, 90% of the time you could do it yourself, right? When you're buying a course, when you're buying knowledge or experience, 90% of the time you could always do that yourself and figure it out yourself. But what you're paying for is the packaging and the knowledge and experience of that person that they're going to give you. So for example, with the Creator HQ package, you could just create that yourself and just copy it. But it would take you so much longer to figure it out when you just buy it and then it's already there, done. It takes you 5 minutes to set it up. So I would highly recommend you get that. I use it for all of my videos, research, daily habit tracking, everything like that. Is so good. Now for my video editing, I use DaVinci Resolve purely because it's free and it's bloody good and easy to use. Now you've got other programs. You've got CapCut is a popular one nowadays, especially for mobile creators. You've got Premiere Pro, you've got Final Cut Pro. They're sort of the big ones, and then DaVinci Resolve. Now, I use DaVinci Resolve because it's the cheapest option. Final Cut Pro, I think you have to pay a one-off cost of $300 for. Now, I've not used it. Apparently, it's really good, but that's made mainly for sort of Mac users and Apple users, whereas I'm on a Windows PC here. That's what this is. Next, you have Premiere Pro, which I think is kind of going a little bit out of fashion now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's kind of, a lot of people are coming away from that. And that is, I think it's $300 a year to have access to that. And then you've got DaVinci, where it's completely free. I still use the free version. If you want to get the pro version, it's a one-off payment of $300, and then you have that for life, forever. But I still use the free version because there's no sort of features in the pro version that at the moment I would use. Now, for filmmaking, you can't edit in 10-bit color on DaVinci Resolve unless you have the pro version. You can only edit in 8-bit color on the free version, which is what I use. So I just always edit in 8-bit color because, quite frankly, that works and no one really can tell the difference. But to be honest, I'll probably end up getting the pro version just so I can record in 8-bit color, 10-bit color, just because why not? You know, when in Rome, try and all that sort of thing. So that's what I use for editing. Then for all of my sound effects and music and all that sort of thing, I use Soundstripe. I'm about to change to Artlist. Soundstripe is really good. It's $19 a month, but it does have quite a few limitations and not a great library. Artlist is, I think you pay yearly and it's $140 for the year. So it actually works out cheaper than Soundstripe if you pay yearly. And it's got a much bigger library and much more options and a lot more there. So yeah, I would recommend Artlist over the two because I just think it's got a bigger and better library. Then for my B-roll footage you see in my videos, I use Envato Elements. Go and check them out. That's where I get all my B-roll and stock footage. And then for my weekly newsletter, I use ConvertKit. That is probably the best program out there for a weekly newsletter. It's really good. It's got amazing templates. It's just awesome. And then for my course that I'm building out, which if you want to know about my course, and if you want to get started as a YouTuber or a creator, and you want to fast track your way to 1,000 subscribers, then check out my link below and join my waitlist. But for that, I use a program called High Level. Now you can use Kajabi, Kartra, or even School. And now let's talk about the gear that I use. So what I'm filming this on right now is the Sony a7 IV. I use it with a, let me see if I can get this right, a 35mm f1.4 G Master lens. I think I've got that right. And that's my daily driver. That is what I use to film all of my talking head videos, all of my B-roll footage if I'm out and about. And pretty much all of my videos and live streams are done on this camera. I use it with a dummy battery. What a dummy battery is, if you don't know what it is basically a battery that plugs into the bottom of the camera that has a wire attached to it, and it plugs straight into the mains. So it's not an actual battery. It just goes into the camera as a battery would, and then it plugs straight into the mains. So it's fully charged all the time. It's basically powered directly from the mains. Then I have a HDMI cable plugged into the Sony a7 IV. That is then plugged into a Elgato Camlink 4K. And then that is plugged into my computer. So if you try to live stream on your camera, it will only live stream in full HD. It won't live stream in 4K. To live stream in 4K, you need to get the Elgato Camlink 4K, plug the HDMI lead into that, and plug the Camlink into the computer. Just give you a minute to process that, because that's a lot of information overload. What else do I use? This microphone is a Deity V07U podcast mic, and it is a USB mic. It just plugs straight into the computer via USB. It's connected to a boom arm, which is connected to my desk. It has a soundproofing thing here, whatever you want to call it. I've drawn a blank. Basically, it stops the plosives. That's really good. And you can adjust the volume and stuff on the side. It's got little wheels here where you can adjust the volume on the side there. that is my main microphone that I use. I also, as a B-roll camera, when I'm doing video calls with my team or business calls, I use this, which is the Logitech Brio Stream 4K. This will cost you about $200, I think, and it's the best 4K webcam that you can get, arguably. And again, it's just a USB camera. It just plugs straight in to the camera, plugs straight into the computer, sorry, and it's just a brilliant 4K webcam. So if my camera tends to overheat, because it does if I'm on a call for longer than an hour or so, this does tend to overheat. If you're constantly live streaming for over an hour, then I'll just switch to the B-roll cam, which is the Logitech Brio Stream, and it obviously the quality is not as good, but it's good enough. Next, these are my gaming / editing headphones, and these are the Rode NTH 100s. The reason why I like these is because they're wired. They have zero latency, so you have no issues with like delay or sound delay or anything like that. They have arguably the crispest and the best sound on the market. They cost you about $100. They're nice and flexible, they're nice and comfortable, and the cable locks in. So if you plug the cable in, it completely locks, so you can't pull that out. If one of my kids come along and tries to yank it, it doesn't work. They can't do it. My keyboard and mouse are Alienware keyboard and mouse. I can't obviously show them to you, but that's an Alienware. My other camera, which you probably would have seen a lot of videos on nowadays, is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I love this thing at the minute. It is one of the most phenomenal cameras I've ever used, and I just absolutely love it. It is such a brilliant camera. So good. And if I flip this around, you can actually see the Sony a7 IV in all of its glory. If it focuses, there you go. You can see my Sony a7 IV set up right there. That's how it looks. And the Osmo Pocket 3, arguably the best pocket camera, B-roll camera that you can get right now, vlogging camera, etc. for $600. You get the camera, you get the creator combo, which comes with a bag of goodies. You get a DJI Mic 2, which is one of the best lavalier mics out there, and you just turn the Mic 2 on, turn this on, and you can just go vlog out and about, keep this in your pocket. And it has a 1-inch CMOS sensor, which is incredible. You would not be able to tell the difference between this and my Sony camera unless you're really looking for it. It is a brilliant camera. So that is the gear I use, my daily gear. My lights, I have a light over here to my left, which is a softbox light, and I have a light above me in sort of around the edge of the wall, which is sort of a light just framing me in front. That's just my sort of lights. And then behind me, you can see I've got some gear and stuff in the background. So that's the gear that I use to make all of my YouTube videos. All in all, I built this studio over the space of about 2-3 years, and everything I would probably say is about $4,500. The camera being $2,000 by itself, and the lens obviously. So it's gear that I've built up over time. It's not gear that I've just went out one day and was like, I've got $5,000 to spend, let's go out and buy it all. No, I had to save up and save up and save up and buy the gear as I was going along. So that's what I would recommend that you do. So now that you know who I am, how and when I got started, all my best and worst experiences, what I've learned, and you know all the gear I use to make my YouTube videos, now let's talk about you and you getting started on YouTube. So now we're going to talk about the YouTube roller coaster, which every creator goes through at some point in their journey, especially when they're just getting started out. Now, the YouTube roller coaster was spoken about by Alex Hormozi, who, if you don't know, he is a massive business entrepreneurial guru. Basically, he's so clever. He's really good. He's built multiple businesses from the ground up, and he makes so much content on YouTube about starting a business, how to buy and sell products, all of that sort of thing. He's just really good. But he talks about business, but the same principle applies to YouTube. So any YouTube creator, whether you're just starting out or thinking about getting started out, will go through this roller coaster, myself included. So this is what it is. So there's 5 stages to being a YouTuber. So when you first start off as a YouTuber, you'll start off with this one, which is uninformed optimism. So when you first start on YouTube, you think, this is bloody brilliant. I can do this. I've seen the big streamers, the big creators who are getting millions of views, that are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue, that are getting sponsorship deals, that are getting flown halfway across the world, that are living their best life, that are just living a millionaire lifestyle. I see the streamers that get up at 7 in the morning and stream for 5 hours and make $1,000 in 5 hours, and much more in ad revenue and sponsorship deals, and just from playing video games. I can do that. And then you start doing it. So then you start learning how to grow on YouTube. You set up your channel, you start making your first few videos, and it's all going all right. But then you realize that I've got to do all of my YouTube videos. Hey, Jason, how you doing? So then you realize, okay, so I've got to film all my own videos. I've now got to edit all my own videos, upload them all by myself in my own time for absolutely no money. That is when you get to this point, which is, wait for it to come up. There you go. The point of realization. And that point is when you think, this is not as easy as what I thought it was. This is actually really difficult. I don't know how all these big YouTubers are doing it. This is really bloody difficult. And I've got to do everything by myself. I'm not getting paid a penny. I'm spending hours and hours and hours making videos, filming them, editing them, uploading them, making titles and thumbnails. I'm not getting paid a damn penny for it. And I'm getting 20 views for every video that I'm making. And that is when you start going down this slope. And that is when you reach the second stage, which is informed pessimism. When you understand how difficult YouTube is, and you understand how actual hard it is, and all of the stuff that goes into it, and all of the effort and everything you've got to put into it, you know how hard that is. And then you just realize that it's not going to be as easy as you first thought. Then you start going down this slope until you get to the third stage, which is the valley of despair. Now, most people quit between the second stage, informed pessimism, and the valley of despair. That is where most people will quit YouTube and just give up with it. They might have a little bit of success. They might do pretty well to begin with. They might get a little bit of success and a few like $1,000 and whatever, and they're thinking about quitting and, oh, I'm doing okay, it's going all right. Or maybe you're just on your journey to 1,000 subscribers and you've got a little bit of positivity at the beginning, and then you realize how bloody difficult it is. And that's when it just goes downhill, downhill, downhill until you hit the valley of despair. So like I said, most people give up between informed pessimism and the valley of despair. And the problem with that is that you then start the cycle all over again with a new business venture. You'll start something else. Maybe you go into coaching. Maybe you go into buying and selling products. Maybe whatever it is, you then start off with uninformed pessimism, then informed pessimism. You realize, oh wait, this is actually really hard, and then you go downhill again, and then you just keep repeating the cycle. Whereas with YouTube, if you just stick with it and you get to the valley of despair and you actually stick with it and you keep plugging away and you don't give up, then you'll get to the point, kind of where I am now, when you get to the fourth stage, which is informed optimism. And then once you get to informed optimism, you realize, right, I've got to 1,000 subscribers. I'm making some money. I'm monetizing the channel now. I realize that the momentum's going well. My subscribers are going up. My videos are getting good views. I understand the math now. I understand that this is difficult and that it's going to be a hard journey. But I also understand that if I keep plugging away, keep making videos, keep doing what everyone else has done and where every other creator has been, then eventually I will get to this level, which is success. And then once you get to success, that's when whatever your version of success is, the goalpost will change a fair bit. But once you get to success, that is when you realize, okay, I can do it now. I'll be okay. And I will make some money and I will carry on growing at a decent rate. And then I'll start getting sponsorship deals. And then the ad revenue will keep climbing up. My views will keep climbing up. And then it will just get better and better and better and better. And the goalpost will just keep moving. And that is when you just keep going up and up and up. And that is the 5 stages of being a YouTuber. So I would highly recommend it if you're just starting, whether you've got 100 subscribers, 500 subscribers, whatever you've got, and if you're in that stage of the red arrow going down and you're thinking, oh, this is too hard, man, I'm just going to give up. Like, I can't be bothered with it anymore. I don't have the time. Just don't give up. Just don't do it. I've had this a little bit with my gaming channel where I've been trying to focus too much on this channel that my gaming channel has kind of taken a hit, and I forgot the essence of what my gaming channel was. It was just me having fun with my friends and I was just streaming it. And whether I had 5 people watching or 100 people watching, it doesn't matter. Like, you're just having fun with your friends and you just happen to be streaming it, and you're growing the whole time, whether you get 1 subscriber a day or 100 subscribers a day, you're still getting that growth. That is it. You just got to keep going with it. Do not give up. Do not get discouraged, and just don't give up.